Hey guys, welcome back to the Tough Love Podcast with Dr. John O'Connor. This is part 2 of our series with Rich Tuma and his RTN supplements. I'm proud to announce that I am now going to be a brand ambassador for the company and utilizing his amazing supplements to get my body into the best shape it's been in. Looking forward to being 50 and fabulous. Rich, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me again, John.
So Rich, looking at your products, one of the things is this with clothing and fitness gear and everything that I like to use, I'm a little bit of a snob. And when I was asking, one of my good friends, a mutual friend of ours in Patrice, she had actually spun it. She said, your products are fantastic and clean. The neat thing, when I looked a little bit back, a little deeper into the history, you have Bill Grant, I believe, as one of your partners in one of the formulations in your creatine,
Correct, yeah.
in your creatine compounding. And I thought that was amazing because this is an iconic fitness head that's been, in the likes of like an Arnold Schwarzenegger era, right?
Right.
So let's just talk a little bit about the products, like the top 3 products that you love.
Okay.
And how the company started and the ups and downs of what you see. So first, Let's talk about the products that you love.
The products I love, this is my insurance policy, is the fitness pack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard to get everything you need from foods. It's just impossible with the travel. Unless you're prepared exactly right, you're not going to get all your A, your B, your C. So the fitness pack has everything you need in one pack. It's 30-day supply.
Got it. I'm stealing that one, by the way.
What's that?
Said I'm stealing that one, by the way.
You could have it. It's all yours. So that's my one pack that all my clients seem to use. And it's for athletes. It's for everyday people. We all need the nutrients, the protein, the carbs, the fat, but we also need the vitamins and minerals, and that's going to give you.
Just for the audience, now do you take that with food? Or is that something
you take with food? You take it with breakfast.
Okay.
So it's like a souped-up multivitamin. Your multivitamin, your one a day, just doesn't have enough in it. But these packs have everything you need in, and there's like 7 pills. So you
Awesome.
just tear the pills, eat your food, and have it with the food.
And now your whey protein. One of the things growing up, God knows, we're around the same age. You would put it in there back in the day, and it was like you were eating,
right.
on some ungodly creation coming out of the container. Yours is super clean. It instantizes, or like when you shake
right.
it completely just, liquids out and it's smooth. How do you guys get to that level? Like, are you big on, quality testing? Or?
We are, we are GMP compliant. That means everything that's on the label is tested. And that's a big important thing that you got to look for on labels, that it says GMP, good manufacturing policy. I use this stuff, I watch everything I put in my body. I make sure it's grass fed or hormone free, so I'll pay a little bit more money to get more quality.
Mm-hmm. And
you want to make sure where the greens come from. The greens are sourced in the USA, organic. Those kind of things are important to see on labels. So, that's with our whey. We're one of the first ways also with artificial things. Like, I didn't want the artificial chemicals. I didn't want the sucralose or the acesulfame K. So, we're one of the first proteins with stevia. And that's how I got into stores like Vitamin Shop and bodybuilding.com. It was an innovation at the time. And I've been around since 2003.
Love that. So,
so that's
when you
the
test
products
time, it's
that got off. So yes, 3 products. The fitness pack is one. That's like your insurance policy. The protein, we have it in vanilla and chocolate. We have vegan as well. We've sold millions of whey proteins. We were in thousands of stores.
Awesome.
And we were, like I told you, one of the products that had stevia, one of the first companies to do it. So we've been.
And then talk to me about your product that you actually collab with Bill on, the creatine product.
The creatine cocktail, Bill came out before me. Before me and him did any collaboration, he was the first guy to do creatine and protein together. A guy named Jerry Brainham helped Bill make that product. And I met Jerry a couple weeks ago when I went to California at Muscle Beach. And, when Bill wanted to recreate it, we kind of took that same formula, added a few more things in there. And it's a great, you've used it before, so you know how it tastes.
It actually tastes great. It was good.
So we had enhanced it a little bit more, adding some things for the joints and the testosterone and omega-3s. So it's a great product.
Great lead in. And with regards to testosterone, so we're just going to open it up. Obviously, one of my companies that I'm really starting to promote hard is Velocity Aesthetics and Anti-Aging. And we were both talking about it off set or off camera with regards to peptide and testosterone use. And as I get older, I was listening to one of my go-tos as far as coaching and business and motivation is Alex Ramosi. And, he just literally was like, people say, are you fit, this and that. And he was talking about that. He's a much younger guy on testosterone. Right. So talk to me about what you think the role is of the optimization therapy or peptides and TRT, and talk about it personally. And actually, even better, one of the things that I would say is start with the fact that you're a heart attack survivor. And your cardiologist overseeing it. So one of the things after I had a heart attack, I want to know what's next. I'm going to go back to the gym. One of the things I was using is TRT, was testosterone. Mm-hmm. And I want to make sure with the cardiologist this was okay to do. And he gave me the green light. Testosterone has helped me in a lot of ways. Like I started doing testosterone when I was 40 years old. I never touched it before. Mm-hmm. And I felt the effects of having low testosterone. People just don't understand. They consider this is just getting old. You don't have to just get old. Women get menopause, guys get andropause. So I didn't know what that was. Mm-hmm. I found someone in the city that treated it. Awesome. And the results were amazing. I felt much better. My muscle came back, fat came off, energy was better. It was the missing link. I like that. And going back to that cardiac issue, right? So being a healthcare provider, our team does it, right? That's our medical team that does that. You work with the cardiologist and they work with your anti-aging people to kind of see that. Like, how does that go? Like, in other words, how routinely are you getting checked? Because I think our audience, that's one of the questions we get. For cardiology and TRT? Yeah. Say every 6 months TRT, every 6 months cardiology. And they have a record of all the things that I take. So they cross-reference your blood work. Yeah, they know the medications for cardiology. So the TRT people see it. So they're all on the same page. Awesome. I know we talked about bringing peptides into your health portfolio, if you will. Yes. One of the things that I'll say is that I was in a really, really dark time about 4 years ago from just us being us. Overtraining, not listening to our bodies. And, probably right around 45, 46, I really hit the brakes hard. And, at first I was going to other people and being told what to do. And I said, I didn't think it was great. I thought the care was subpar at best. It felt like it was more of a meal. And when we started putting our team together, I said, I want them to be super knowledgeable, right? Dr. Harwitz, my wife, is absolutely amazing. She's an encyclopedia on peptides. So what she actually acts as almost as like she's the professor, right? And she's educating our team. And then the medical team is looking at it saying, okay, when that patient fills out that questionnaire for overuse, ligaments and tendons, wants to get leaner, wants to build muscle mass, then it's a plug and play. Yes. And now we're talking about dosage and which peptides we're going to put together to have this amazing synergistic approach. What I was loving when we connected was what a great opportunity to take Rich Tuma Fitness, RTN supplements, and Velocity Aesthetics and Anti-Aging and create this collaboration to give our patients, your clients, vice versa, back and forth, and people that I can motivate to get on RTN supplements to really optimize their health. Well, that's good. I mean, my clients, my goal is to make them look good. Yep. So there's many ways I look at the goal. You look at their exercise. So I watch their training. I help them with their nutrition. And then there's the thing I can't do, which is the blood work. I said, you guys got to get blood work because it's guesswork. Yeah. It's like putting a puzzle together and you don't know what pieces go in it. Everybody's different. So I would refer out to someone like you to do that work, to look at their blood work and see what kind of peptides might be beneficial to their goals. Or if they're guys 40 or has low testosterone, they'll get that supply to help, make them feel like they're 20 again or 25, because that's what it's like. Absolutely. When you hit 40, you say, oh man, I must be getting older. But we have a choice now whether you want to feel old or you want to feel young, That's the beauty of the testosterone therapy. I think it's education. And like I said, we were talking off camera. You said something that was so funny, right? It's one of our partners has a huge, one of the top in the county of classic traditional medicine, right? So they don't really look at testosterone as an issue unless it's an endocrine dysfunction, right? And that as we're aging, they're just saying that's normal aging. But I think that so many people now that, it used to be 40 is the new 30.
Yeah.
But now it's like 50 is the new 35.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I see friends, I'm in the gym sometimes with a baseball cap on, especially if I'm like really prepping for a photo shoot or getting ready for some type of fitness event. And people are like, oh, how old are you? 30 something. I'm like, you could be my son and I'm 50.
Yeah.
You know, and I laugh when I look at it because I'm like, you know, I want everybody to feel that good.
Yeah.
You know, and again, the one thing that I try to tell people, I'm like, hey guys, this isn't the black market, right? These are supervised. These aren't dosages. These are safe dosages under the care and supervision of a medical team.
Right.
And it's more about taking the flab and turning it to fit.
Yeah.
You know, taking the skinny and putting some muscle on those joints and supporting
Right.
it to give you stronger knees and a stronger back and better shoulders for exercise.
Right.
Jumping back into your supplement company, what's probably one of the hardest challenges you have to scale that business now in 2024 with all of these massive companies out there like First Form and everything else is out there?
Well, when I started, the pizza pie wasn't as big. So I had a lot of slices for myself. So I started out, like I said, 21 years ago. So my innovation was the products with stevia. Like I had a mass builder that had whole foods like sweet potato, oatmeal, brown rice was the carb complex. So I had some innovations, and at the time it picked up very quick and grew very fast. And the market just got oversaturated with wholesaling products that it's just we're a good quality company, still is, and we do direct sales to our clients. It's just the amount of competition out there is huge. That's the major difference. More competition.
The neat thing, and I talked about this collaboration, I'm getting excited as I'm growing my brand, right?
Yeah.
The John O'Connor, whether it's really, for me, I'm in that biohacking space, but I'm excited to give people a product that, being in healthcare for years, and you're a chiropractor, you're in wellness centers, people are always like, hey doc, what supplements do you take, this and that? And, you know, really more, I would give them the description of the supplements, not necessarily have a brand they got behind.
Right.
But I'm so excited to create a team of influencers to get behind RTN supplements. You know, I think they're super clean. They're made in the USA. They follow all the supplementation, you know, criteria that put them at first rate, much like the compounding pharmacies we use to acquire our peptides and, you know, our products. So I'm excited. I'm beyond excited.
I'm excited likewise to have somebody educated with you with the background to back our product. I'm thankful for you.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Blessed.
So tell me this, is there anything you guys got cooking, or right now we're, you know, as far as in the supplements, I know that's one of the big things, everybody's trying to do drops, or do you really you're kind of like the Black & Decker, you guys, you're good with what you have and we're going to drive that?
We're always looking to put something new out there. The products we have, like I told you, they've worked, they stood the test of time. There's no wackery kind of things that you're a laboratory rat. You know, I read some of these products when you go in the stores and, you know, I don't even know what it is. You know, my basic is basic old school nutrition. Mm-hmm. And then things for prevention, keep it simple. You just offer a little bit of everything for every person. You know, we do quality things that are clean and natural and tested and made in the USA, you know? So I stand behind everything I make. I use everything I make, and, you know, my clients see the results.
Got it. Talk to me about what was the hardest thing? Because I know you had talked to me about the downsizing. So when that pie was changing, was that a big loss for you guys? Like, did that really almost like, well, we might have to shut the company down? Like, I know for COVID, we almost lost our healthcare business.
We go through things in business. Like, my business had a huge growth. Like, we started off small, and we grew in the right time period. And, you know, it was a combination of writing for the magazine, getting the name out, getting the right people backing you, going to the shows, meeting certain individuals to get your brand in certain companies. And I was in Vitamin Shop when we started in the East Coast, then it went nationwide, and then bodybuilding.com. I was in Get in Shape for Women, 500 stores. I had a warehouse. I was pulling in over $100,000 a month. You know, I was making big money. I was just putting all the money back, you know, advertising, trade shows. It just, all this stuff adds up. Like, you look at what you did and you think when you're growing, you're going to always keep growing, and it's never going to stop. And it was a big spike, and then the market just changed, and it just was a big crash and a big loss. You know, I made a lot of money and I lost a lot of money. You know, it happens to a lot of people. I made a lot of learning mistakes, like, so like if you go back, like some people are gamblers. Now I'm more conservative. I did gamble.
Bunts and singles, right?
Bunts and singles, exactly.
I told you before we started today, it's bittersweet. The facility we're in today, we're actually closing. And when we did this, we opened it up right before COVID, and who knew we were going to have a global pandemic, right?
Right.
And my whole team has been chipping in. We closed out, it's 80% done. We're going to finish up on Thursday.
Right.
And I tell people all the time, they're like, were you upset? I'm like, no, when I look back, I was so proud of my team and,
right.
My wife and I, to take a risk.
Yep.
Right.
Life is short, right?
And,
you want to,
we took we bet on ourselves. Right. And I look at it, now as I'm not humbled by it. I'm blessed to have the opportunity to be able to get out and let someone else use this, have the space be used, and concentrate on stuff like these opportunities, the brand sponsorships, and focus on our anti-aging center and focus on our other 2 locations. But I have to tell you, I love sitting with like-minded people where you're not like, oh, put your head down and not, get back on the bike and go. Right. So, but yeah, there was a lot of meaning in today's podcast and the series we did, because I loved hearing about that, because the one thing you said, you were like, yeah, we were in, countless stores around the country.
Right.
And then all of a sudden the margins were changing and it didn't make sense to be putting stuff out there.
So wholesale wise, maybe it doesn't make sense, but direct sales, it might. So I'm like a good quarterback, but I try to be the wide receiver. I try to be the running back, and I got to learn how to delegate. So you're a good athlete. So maybe I should hand you the ball too.
That's it. And I'll tell you what, to be honest with you, I think in coaching, I launched a coaching business 2 years ago, and it started exactly that way. And I would say, if I was talking to you, you're Dr. Rich and a physical medicine doc, chiropractic, physical therapist, occupational therapist, whatever that is, probably my greatest adversary has always been me and the inability to delegate. Because I was so good at what I would do, and it sounds like you're the same thing, you're sitting there throwing the ball and running out and catching it.
Yeah.
And then, turning around and hiking it back to yourself to then be the running back on the lateral hitch. Right. And when you're wearing all these hats, you find out quick that it's not about growth. Now you're in survival mode.
Yeah.
And now we talk about cortisol production and stress, and you're in a constant state of dis-ease or unrest because you're constantly grinding. And so I think, looking forward to it, now it becomes more the attack of work smarter, not harder.
Right.
And utilize your team around you, and then incentivize the team to grow with you.
Right.
And to profitize, to make more money as you're making more money.
Right.
And I think that that's probably one of the biggest things that I've learned in the last couple of years, that I used to be such a great worker and a horrible boss.
Right.
Because I would look at everybody else with and I found it taking it home to my children and my wife, that I would look at everybody almost at a face of disappointment because they wouldn't carry the torch like me.
Sure.
As opposed to saying, hey, this is my job, my role.
It's hard to be good at everything as much as we want to be.
Even taking that step back and being able to say, Rich, you do a goddamn good job, and our jobs are unique. And if you're putting out a good product, and then every time you flip it up, I'm smashing and putting it out there.
Right.
Then we're going to turn a double play every time.
Right.
Right. It can't be that we're both manufacturing. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, somebody's got to be marketing it. You know. And so I think that I love hearing those parallels, because that's part of it, right, guys? When you look at what you're doing in business, one of the things that I pull out of these modern business coaches that are awesome, or these companies, is that marketing is everything.
Right.
Right. And you have to get it out there. The podcast, the clips, the social media, the daily posts. And at first, people are saying, one good post a day. Those generalities are we run that in healthcare. One thing doesn't fix everybody. Right. So yes, if you're Warren Buffett, you pump out a post every day and you're the richest man in the world.
Right.
Guess what? You don't necessarily need to get attention.
Right.
Right. Because you're there. You've arrived in a major way. But if you're trying to grow a brand or stay on top in a sea full of sharks, then you got to be a shark.
Right.
And you got to hunt. and you might have to put out 30 pieces of content. And that's where I'm excited with your stuff. As you know, like I'm grabbing it now and putting on everything I do, because to me, my business has and always will be my mind and my body.
Right.
And even more the mind. If my mind isn't locked in, my body doesn't come along.
Right.
If my mind is locked in with the discipline of food, nutrition, focus, hydration, then what happens is my concentration, my recovery, my performance are in direct correlation, ridiculously efficient.
Right.
And I think that if we bring that along with us, because this is our second time talking, and even multiple times that I plan on training with you, your consistency and calmness is going to create a fantastic relationship for what we have to come in the future.
Yin and yang and balance.
Yeah. So tell me about, one of the things, I saw a really special connection with your workout partner and a business partner in some degree in Bill Grant.
Bill Grant.
And I have to say, going through some healthcare stuff, I had to swing into Dr. O'Connor mode when I met him. That's a really special part of you.
Yeah.
And, and share about that, like what you do for him.
Well, when you're true friends with somebody, no matter what happens, you're sticking with them through the thick and thin. And me and Bill have been friends for a long time. And the last few years, there's some things that took place. And, he's had a prostate cancer. Mm-hmm. And he had a bladder that didn't empty. And, he's some mental things going on. So, I've been helping him with all those issues. I mean, I'm standing by him, like a family.
Yeah.
And I work with his son. Like, his son is in Finland. And we communicate on the phone, and we do what we can to get him through the week. And he's a great guy, always was. Like, it's unfortunate what did happen. I pray to God that things turn around, if you believe in miracles. So, I don't know.
I'll tell you,
it's just
the one thing that just jumped off at me was, I'm on your property for 3 minutes, and Bill rolls in, and when I come in as a brand ambassador, I do a real good job at that, right?
Yeah.
And where I knew and came out and reached out to our mutual friend, I said, Rich is a special guy. I came there to jump in and get behind and really start pushing his company. And all he was asking me about were that he had researched some peptide stuff.
Yeah.
And what can slow down any mental degeneration that's going on with his friend and buddy, Bill.
Yeah.
And to me, when you put friends and family first, success is going to come,
right?
Because it's no different than putting your workers, in front of you.
Right.
They're going to work hard. My team was here today, and they're healthcare practitioners.
Right.
They're not a moving company.
Right.
And they cleared this building by 11 a.m. today. We were 85% clear.
Right.
And there's something about that. And, those guys feel my love, with them, that I'm like, normally I'm meal prepping, so I'm not having a ham and cheese. Like, I think I've had more regular food, like regular people food in the last 3 days than I've had probably in the last 7 months.
You're out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. So, getting back into it, as we're going to close this out, RTN supplements, they're available in retail, or it's a direct ship?
Direct ship. Like, you can go to our website, revolutionarynutrition.com, and all our products are available on there. All our proteins, all our vitamins, all our fat burners, all our apparel is on revolutionarynutrition.com, and you will have a code that they can use.
So, yeah, guys, we're definitely going to have codes after this podcast. We're going to definitely create ability for you guys to be able to shop and buy it direct. Again, I think Rich's products are absolutely amazing. I'm looking forward to my next phase of health and nutrition. I'm working on, as my big mission at 50 was to build my legs back and my lower half and core for long-term health. And as I study at a lot of these fitness professionals that are 60 and 70, and some of them are approaching 80 and in remarkable shape.
And Bill is 77. But look at him on the outside. I mean, he's amazing shape. How many guys at 77 look like Bill? And he's an inspiration.
And that's it. And that was my point, is that all of them have an amazing foundation, strong legs,
right?
And strong legs and back. And
it's like an investment he has in his body. He spent his whole life working out, eating a certain way, and he pays the dividends for being long-term 77, long-term health. Yeah. And that's what we're all trying to do right now,
Absolutely. Well, listen, I'm looking so forward to working with you. And guys, like I said, Rich Tuma, you're going to see the tags to follow him, as well as RTN supplements and nutrition. We're going to be working with them personally. I'm looking forward to watching grow their brand and ours and the transformation. So stay tuned. Thank you so much. And again, there's nothing more beneficial than when you guys share our story or the message. And today you'll see in the written portion of the podcast for these posts, you'll see how you can get in touch, and there'll also be a promo code for you to save and get a discount on the products as well. Rich, thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon. Look forward to working with you.